Hey there, folks. This is Coach Rich. Welcome to my webinar slash talking head video on navigating the late season Ironman, which is kind of different these days because back in the dark ages when Coach Rich started this Ironman game, there were only about 4 to 5 races in the U.S. None of them were really late season, with the exception of Ironman Florida. And now, over the last couple of years, Ironman has clearly gravitated the scheduling of their races towards September, October. Now you've got Ironman Wisconsin and Chattanooga in September. October, you've got Ironman Louisville, which used to be in August. You have Ironman North Carolina. You have Ironman Maryland, and then you've got Florida and Arizona in the following month. So this is not so much about it's really about what are the dynamics that you need to consider when you're signing up for an Ironman that let's say happens after school has started, after a long summer of training, after most of your traditional triathlon season is finished with. How do you navigate that season? And it's really about how long your season is and the potential danger of what happens when you think about a race for months and months and months. By this, I'm talking about what are the dynamics when you start your out season with us in October, or you start your out season in January, and what does that mean when your AAA race for your season isn't until 10 months later. So that's what I'm going to talk about here, is how to mitigate those risks and schedule your season correctly. Our number one principle for season planning, or how we look at your year, is to keep your training volume as low as we can for as long as we can. And the reasons why we do that are, first, if I keep your training volume low, I can keep your intensity high, and I can keep you focused on making yourself a much faster athlete. Also, lower volume training accommodates high frequency running, which encourages running durability, which is one of the keystones of success at the Ironman distance. Okay, so I keep your training volume low. That means I keep your intensity high, and I can make you a faster swimmer, cyclist, or runner. And I can also keep your running frequency high, make you a more durable runner. Second is, by keeping your training volume as low as we can for as long as we can, I can help you conserve your spousal approval units, so that you're not nickel and diming your family for months and months and months for this Ironman flavor 4-hour ride or 5-hour ride or 2.5-hour long run. You're not doing that for months and months and months. Instead, you're training like an out-season athlete. You're training like a short course athlete. You're training like a half Ironman athlete for as long as we can, so that I only put you and your family and your wife and your head inside that Ironman box for about 12 weeks. And finally, it's about conserving your headspace. While I'm only putting you in your Ironman training plan for the last 12 weeks before your race, you're absolutely building your Ironman fitness as I work you through out-season, swim camp, get faster, short course training plan, half Ironman training plan, a bike focus plan, whatever. I'm absolutely building your Ironman fitness, but I'm doing it, or we as partners are doing it, in a manner that doesn't have you putting your feet on the floor at 5:30 in the morning in February thinking that you're training for Ironman in Arizona November 21st. Because if you're thinking like that, you're absolutely going to be insane and crazy by July, which is about a month before I'm even going to put you into your Ironman training plan in preparation for Arizona. Okay, so really, your key to navigating a late season Ironman is about season planning. All right, And for me, that's about you properly and intelligently selecting what races you're going to do en route to a late season Ironman. One of the big dangers I see when athletes join or they give me their races for next season is when I only see one Ironman on the calendar, or I only see one race and the race is an Ironman and it's 10 months out. Okay. That's a big danger sign. Understand that I have a range of training plans, which are tools to help you build your fitness across your season. And, and it helps me do my job for you when you pick races in a manner that lets me apply these different training plans, um, these different tools across a range of races, so that I can build your running durability, I can build your cycling endurance, I can build your cycling speed. I have time to work on your swimming technique, and you're giving yourself and you're giving me a range of races to work with in your TSR, so that we can create intermediate goals, smaller race goals en route to your large race. So for that reason, we're big on a split season approach, which is I want you to split your season into an Ironman season and a I'm not training for Ironman season. So folks that are doing, for example, Lake Placid, Canada, end of July, they'll typically have an out season, and then they will build that. They'll transition that out season fitness towards a spring or early summer half Ironman, say in the May to June timeframe, and then and then and then in early May they're going to transition over towards training for their Ironman. You folks that are racing a late season Ironman, you might have 2 or 3 seasons, meaning you've got your half marathon short course races that you're training for in April, and then you're going to transition that fitness towards 1 or 2 half Ironmans in the mid-July through mid-August timeframe, and only then are you then transitioning over to your Ironman season, which you're going to start, early to mid-August, or mid September to, or yes, mid-July to mid-August for those athletes that are racing October and Thanksgiving flavor Ironmans. So so if you're doing a late season race, back plan from that race about 12 weeks. Understand that's when you want to start, or that's when I'm going to have you start your Ironman training plan, and then back plan from that about another 6 to 8 weeks. That's one ideal location for a half Ironman, and then back plan again another 4 to 6 weeks. That's a great location for a short course race or an early season half Ironman. All right. And then, so season planning is key. Again, selecting a variety of races that lets me use as many of the training plan tools that we have, so that you and I both have time to develop your fitness across a range of training plans, across a range of time. And giving yourself time so that you can train for and race, and really look at those smaller races as legitimate race targets that will keep you focused on short-term goals en route to training for and racing that late season Ironman. Next, I'm going to talk about considerations for indoor versus outdoor training for folks who are doing those late season races. Arizona and sometimes Ironman Florida athletes that live in the Northeast, Midwest, Sometimes those folks will be doing their last long rides or their last runs on trainers and treadmills. Understand that your by far your best venue for a race rehearsal is outdoors, and um, so I would like you to really start looking at your calendars, looking at the weather, and it may make sense for you to get off script, get off the training plan a little bit, so that you can get in a quality race rehearsal outside, vice indoor. So our final race rehearsal in the Ironman training plans is in week 18. But if weather isn't cooperating for you and your last opportunity, to get in a quality outdoor ride is in week 17 or 16, I want you to do that race rehearsal outdoors on whatever week it helps you to get it done outdoors. Doing a 6-hour trainer ride as a race rehearsal indoors, not only is it just a mind crushing experience, but it's not it's not the kind of quality race rehearsal that you'll get outdoors. And then finally, a lot of athletes that race like I've got a note here to talk about heat, about adapting to heat or maintaining your heat adaptation in the event that Arizona is a warm day or Florida is a warm day or the October races are warm days. What our Kona athletes do, who are Kona athletes that live in geographic locations where it might be cool in September and October, what they're doing is they are training in their winter kit, in their winter setup, or they're running on a treadmill indoors. In other words, they're using artificial means, i.e. clothing, to help them either get or maintain that heat adaptation that they might be losing otherwise. So that might be a tool that you consider. If you're indoors on a trainer because it's cool outside, you might want to consider dressing warmly, not putting on a fan, making yourself hot so that you maintain that heat adaptation in the event that your late season Ironman happens to be on a warm day, whether or not that's a historical or aberrant a warm day. Okay. Thanks, folks. That's all I've got. If you have any questions about navigating a late season Ironman that wasn't answered in this video, please post them in the forum thread in which you found this video, and I'll answer them right away. Thanks, folks. Bye.